right, welcome everybody. We are here for race 1 of season 5 for CSRL. I have Jay with me in the booth today.
Hello.
So we're here for exciting race. Love Spa. What's your feelings on Spa, Jay?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's a fun track. It can be a fun track. It's fast. I mean, there's a lot of foot to the floor on this track. If you're the kind to get easily distracted, this is one of the tracks that's going to catch you out because there's not really a whole lot to do for the back half of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at the starting grid today. We've got Aiden Hasselbrock qualified first. Dave Macedo in second place with his OnlyFans car. Love that livery. Um, Bowen in third. Alvarez in fourth. You have Wojak in fifth. Moda in sixth. Demir in eighth. Oh wait, I'm going back. Sorry, Demir in eighth. Darty in ninth. Caminetti in 10th. Torres in 11th. Taylor in 12th. Miller 13th. We have Driveman 14th. Smith in 15th. TL in 16th. Francisco, another one of our new drivers this season, 17th. Young in 18th. And Marlowe taking up the rear in 19th today.
Yeah, it's good to see some of the guys coming back for subsequent seasons. We all know that you, Mike, myself, Taylor, Driveman, we've all been here for a while. It's good to see that we with some guys like Moda that took last season off have finally made their way back. It's good.
Yeah,
it's
very excited to see Moda back this season. He was definitely
yeah,
definitely missed last season, so it was great to see him back.
yeah, and he's pretty fast too. So
Oh, always a
it's
threat.
yeah, it's going to be interesting to see sort of what kind of dynamic he brings here.
Oh yeah, and we'll see if he can still tame that Porsche. He's one of the few drivers that opts to stay with that car season after season.
I got to say though, Mike, being here in the we'll call it the commentators box, kind of feels a bit like I don't know if you've ever seen this, but like an Olympic athlete blows a hamstring, and then next season they're up in the box, just talking about. It's kind of how I feel right about now. Is like I blew a hammy, and I'm just not quite able to keep up with the fast guys.
Well, it's not because of too old to do it, so you got that going for you to recover from the
Yeah,
injury.
right. Yeah, there you go. There you go. But no, this is. I don't know. Spa is always. It's always interesting because I've got my little fact sheet here. It seems like Spa actually has the longest formation lap in history.
Oh
So
yeah.
that's fun. I think the only track to do a full formation lap at that would be worse would probably be the Nordschleife. But yeah, Spa's it's a beast.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, and it's a fun track too because it's a mix of speed. You've got the slower section, you got the high speed section, you've got passing opportunities, you got the elevation changes, you got a rouge, which depending on your car setup can be a roll of the dice every lap whether you're gonna lose control or not. So it's a lot of fun, a lot of action. Hopefully we're in for a treat today. Another livery, I like Bowen's new livery. Bowen with a car change also this season. Performed really well in the Honda last season, and has moved to the Aston, one of my personal favorite cars.
Yeah, I have fond memories of of trying to get past that Aston in season 1. It was not the easiest.
You've also got some fond memories of it in your rearview mirror as well. Don't be too modest.
Oh, come on now. It does look like Mr. Bowen has raided an art gallery and maybe
Yes.
stolen a Jackson Pollock, just plastered it to his car. But no, that's
Stole
a
it or
nice look, really.
just drove right through it. Just drove
yeah.
right through that art gallery, maybe.
Yeah, it's just a matter of degrees.
And of course, at Spa, the race does not start at the finish line. So everyone should start be getting formed up here soon as they come around technically turn 1, and then they'll start the race.
Another fun fact, Spa, there is actually more pavement in the pit lane than in the entire town I grew up in. So that's how long the pit lane is here.
Right.
So
I think we'll ride on board with Dimmler here, and we'll get the start of the race. See if they can make it through a Rouge. It's a little bit tricky, right? That first lap, everyone's doubled up through a Rouge.
yeah, it's kind of scary. You get guys that are perhaps maybe a little too eager to make up a position there, but seems like everyone made it through okay.
That's amazing. Oh!
Oh!
And we've got our first accident on the straight. Let's back up and see what happened here.
Yikes.
And it looks like we got some slow cars. He's getting past and just looks like went to get over before he cleared. Was that Alvarez?
Yeah, that was the Honda of Alvarez. Yikes.
Yeah, not the way you want to start it for sure.
No, I mean, and unfortunately the pit stops here are so costly.
Oh, that is the other terrible part of this.
Yeah, they use the whole pit for this specific track, not just the GT or the F1 layout. You've got to drive the entire pit lane.
All right, so we got.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, we got Hasselbrock made a little gap out in front already, and then pretty close between Macedo, Bowen, and Wojciech here.
Yeah, that McLaren still looks pretty strong. Remember it was the favorite last season. Sort of seesawed back and forth between the Beamer and the McLaren.
And the hard braking zone here before the chicane, always a dangerous spot, and David overshoots it a little bit. Is he gonna manage to hang on to second here? Actually, we have a three-way race for second right now.
Oh no.
And it's gonna be Bowen and... Oh! And we have another incident behind.
Oh no, that's Alvarez again. Oh no. It doesn't look like Eric can catch a break this race.
No, let's see what happened here. So, side by side with Darty, and yeah, just looks like Darty
no.
was next to him, but it looked like Alvarez made it out in front before the apex, and Darty caught him. Unfortunate for us, right into the wall. But doing the right thing of waiting for all the traffic to go by before he starts backing up. and he's going to be got a lot of ground to make. But if there's anyone who can reclaim a lot of that ground, Alvarez has speed, so no doubt that he'll be able to pick back up. And it looked like Darty waited for him as well, so Darty had dropped back. The positions have it up. There we go. So we have 15th Darty, 16th Alvarez after that incident.
And it looks like Alvarez doesn't have any major damage. I mean, make it up Orouge and Radion fairly well. Doesn't look like it was all that unstable. So, I mean, at least there's a positive there. Any sort of damage, especially the rear of your car on this track, is almost a death sentence. It's
Yeah.
You almost have to pit.
You are not kidding. We've got Hicks right on Caminetti right now. Looks like this is the closest battle at the moment, and Caminetti goes,
just a little wide.
Yep, just a little. And nice clean pass by Hicks afterward, taking advantage of that.
Yeah, I didn't really mention it earlier. That pass that Bowen made coming through the bus stop into La Source to get ahead of. I think it was David Macedo. That was a pretty brave move. There's a ton of stuff that can go wrong, especially into La Source.
We've got another close battle here. Smith has made it right up behind Miller. See if he can gain. One of the best places to gain ground here is if you're the guy that can flat out through a Rouge and the other guy has to let off. And this might have been a case of that here, because Smith has a lot of drive on Miller right now.
Yeah, he's gonna have an invalid lap on that one though. That was a little bit of a cut coming up through Radion. Got to keep all four tires to the either on or to the right of the I like to call the McDonald's curbing, red
Yes,
and yellow.
Yes.
Yeah, if all four of your tires are on the wrong side of that white line, you're going to be in.
And very easy to do here too. If you don't
very,
set
very
yourself
easy
up properly for that first part of the chicane, it's very easy. And what is it before you get a drive-through? You get 4 strikes. Three strikes. Fourth you're out.
Correct. Yeah, and Eau Rouge and Radion are they're sort of tough already, but trying to follow somebody being in dirty air, it really can really take the bite out of the front end, and you find yourself understeering wide through that corner a lot. I'm kind of glad we haven't seen any crazy stuff through Blanchimont yet.
No, we've not.
No, that's
It looks like
that's also another place on this track that gets a little crazy, especially when you're fighting for that braking zone coming in a stop.
Absolutely, yeah. That's one of the ones you almost tense up and cringe when you have someone behind you and you're getting on the brakes there.
I have some nightmares.
Hasselbrock has just made it past Demler for that was lap traffic there. So check back here a little bit and see.
Yeah, and Wojcik, he's been with us for a couple seasons now.
Yes.
He's wicked fast.
Absolutely.
I remember watching a few of the races last season and wondering what planet this man him.
I know, and he's been fast.
Oh
As we're
no!
talking,
Oh no!
commentators curse
Oh,
always.
Oh.
And there might be a little bit of damage there too, because the car not only went off, did hit the wall as well. That's unfortunate. That's one of those other dangerous parts of the track, right?
Yeah.
That left and
yeah. If you're, especially if you're driving, like a McLaren or anything that's mid-engine, the car really has a tendency to get really light after that initial turn in, and yeah, it's pretty dangerous, as we just witnessed. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, Mike. I didn't mean to curse you there, but
no. But if there's anyone else who can also make it through the pack, that is Mike's another driver who can do it. So, not that it looked like anyone was threatening Hasselrock, but the fact that we've got Wojciech down now, as well as Alvarez, that definitely gives some more, less threat to our leader right now.
yeah, judging by that gap that Hasselbrock has between he and Bowen, I'm not sure there's much threat really to be had. He's looked pretty fast.
He is. I'm telling you, we got Moda pretty close to Macedo, so that's looking good. Good battle there, possibly.
Yeah, and it's no surprise to see Alex Moda this far up the grid. He's usually a top 5 contender at the least. So.
Too far back to try anything here.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it really depends on what you consider too far back.
We've got another.
I've definitely. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no! So we got another 3 wide here, and it looks like Darty's gonna make it through safely. Everything kind of spaced out before the turn. Not too many turns you want to go 3 wide through, and that's not one of them either.
No, I mean, you can say that about most turns, though.
Yeah, I agree.
3 wide's a bit much. I mean, we're not doing NASCAR.
No, we're not.
Yeah, Evan Miller. It's another driver that's made some pretty big strides since he joined.
Oh, he has. He has.
Yeah, he has definitely shown some improvement.
He has, and he's a workhorse. He's one of those guys that shows up to every race. I don't know if I remember not seeing him in one of the races. But also, if you ever show up to one of the practice sessions or practice races during the week when people are preparing for Saturday's race, he's always one of the guys there as well. So he puts in the work. And he's also stuck with that Audi since it came out. Have you driven the Audi? The new Audi? I say new, it's less new now, but
yeah, less new. Not really. No, I mean, I've mainly stuck with just a couple cars. I mean, it's not that I don't like it. It's just I don't know. I mean, if you're gonna go a car like that, why not go to Lambo, right?
No, yeah, exactly. Do we have another run? It looks like Hicks had the speed.
Ooh.
And's gonna beat him.
Well done. That was a nice pass.
Yep, nice job by both the drivers there.
That's not over yet, though. Torres is in the Porsche, so he's going to be gaining a lot of these braking zones, and that thing just has a supernatural ability to rotate.
Oh yeah, it does. The Aston, not as much rotation.
No, the Aston's almost impossible to rotate.
It's the blessing and the curse of the Aston, right?
Exactly.
And Torres is one of the other new drivers to join us this season. Excited to have him, and he has proven himself to be a competitive driver already. So, currently running in 6th with this group, you're no slouch if you're doing that. Got Alvarez closing in on Miller now.
Yeah, slowly making his way back through the pack here. It'll be interesting to see what happens with pit stop strategy here. Who's gonna undercut? Who's gonna overcut? I honestly can't say what would be the best strategy.
I'm with you.
I don't know.
I don't know either, because it's not one of those tracks where if you get stuck behind somebody and you can't pass them, so you go, pit. There's decent enough passing opportunities here where if you're not going to get stuck behind someone that you're faster than.
Well, unless you're driving a Porsche. The Porsche does not have the grunt on the straights that a lot of these cars do. I mean, especially down Kemmel and coming through Blanchimont, even in the tow, the best you can do is just hope to keep pace. So, I don't know. It's an interesting thing because you would think that the undercut would work better, but staying out a couple extra laps, keeping your current speed, not having to deal with cooler tires. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I'd like to see what these guys do.
And I think as we were talking about getting past somebody, it looks like Wojciech just made it past Driveman there. And looks like he has his sights set on Caminiti next.
It's kind of weird to see he not driving the Porsche. That's how I remember things going.
Yes,
it's been a season or two since I've been involved in the racing, but I remember having some fights with Cammy in that Porsche. So it's weird to see him driving the Audi.
It's almost like when you're watching NFL teams and you got somebody that goes to a different team. It takes a while to get used to the adjustment of them being on a different team. I feel like that when the drivers switch cars. I kind of, as a person who likes to switch cars, I understand the intrigue, and you get kind of bored of the same car. You want to think you might be faster in a different car. So I get the reasons, but it's I like when you have a certain driver and you associate them with the car, and they're always in that car. And we had Smith, the same mistakes we see a lot of people make there, just late braking into that turn and pushing off the track, and looks like he lost a couple places from that, but was able to safely get back on. Who doesn't change cars, Jay? Who's been the most? Who is that person we can always identify with a certain car?
Who? I mean, I think most people here have changed. Moda has, as far as I know, he's always been in that Porsche.
That's
so,
right. That's a good. That's
the day he shows up in something, I know something's wrong.
Well, you know what? Not here today, but always in the Ferrari is Joe Marsiglia. The only time he's not in the Ferrari is when he's not here, like today.
The only time he's not in the Ferrari is when it has exploded.
Alvarez picks up another position there. So he's moved his way up into 12th. It just isn't updated on the position chart yet.
Yeah, speaking of the Ferrari, that used to be the car of choice for myself, and it was very much a love-hate relationship. It loved to not doing it, and I hated it. So, sorry for the dad jokes, but you know.
And back with Wojciech, he has made it up to Cam and Eddie now.
Yeah, I mean, nothing on Cam. I mean, I'm not surprised. Wojciech is apparently not just fast, but also quite brave. Oh, yikes.
Yeah.
Pass around the outside of Blanchimont. Well, I mean, hey, if you can do it, why not?
Cam and Eddie wasn't gonna just give it to him. He was making him take it.
Oh, I don't know if I'd have done that. I think if he wants it that much, I'm just gonna let him have it.
You're bowing out, yeah. Live to fight another turn.
Yeah, there's no point in us both dying.
And let's go back. So Alvarez has his sights set on Taylor next. Taylor, no, that's another one always in the Ferrari. That's consistent. How could I forget Taylor?
Well, I mean, yeah, Taylor's he's mixture. I mean, absolutely. It's good to see. It's good to see these guys keep coming. It's really nice. It tells us that we're doing something. We're doing something right if we get repeat business.
Absolutely, and those are the kind of drivers we'd love to keep coming back. I mean, you know, Taylor, just respectful driver, great guy to race with, great guy to talk with, and he's someone else who's really improved a lot. He's very, he won't talk himself up at all, but I've been here long enough to see the improvement he's made as a driver.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Scott seems like he's a pretty decent fellow. It's a bit weird not seeing any Bentleys on the track.
Right? That's a big void.
Yeah, I know, right? It's last few seasons it's been at least 3. I think at least 2, maybe 3.
Oh yeah, always. You always had Pedro and Jon Snow. At least those two were always going to be in the Bentley.
Yeah, and it's kind of disappointing that we didn't get to see Pedro show up this evening. I'm not even quite sure what he's registered for or with for this season. Whether he's driving the Bentley or if he's decided to go. Well, so that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, that when he makes his reveal, which he hopefully will do this season. Excited to see what he chooses. I did see a little sneak peek in a practice race of him in a car that was not the Bentley. So I'm excited to see what he hopefully does return for season 5, and excited to see what he chooses as well. Got Moda about just shy of a second back from Macedo. Not catching him here, though.
Yeah, once again, it's just the curse of the old Porsche. Just doesn't have the legs for the straights. Despite that, though, Moda's doing a pretty good job of keeping pace. I mean,
he is, and Moda. Oh, we've got David and woo. That's the Porsche. Not a car you want to have to make a sudden adjustment trying to dodge somebody either. Moda does a great job there, maintaining control, getting by David.
Yeah, that's always you see the car in front of you go sideways, and luckily there was enough time to get out of the way there, which is it's not always the case.
No.
So luckily it was a low speed corner.
Yeah, this is true. You said he had time to react, which was good. And David managed to. Didn't look like it affected him too bad. He's still behind Moda. It's like showing 1.6. Looks like he's maybe 2 seconds behind him.
I'm quite impressed with the recovery that both Alvarez and Wojcik have put on here.
Oh, they have.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and Wojcik's made it all the way up to Torres.
And this is the position I was talking about earlier, where you follow someone up the hill, and it's just gets it gets dicey. I mean, when you're set up in the car you're driving, it's either easier or harder, but. And
This
then the rundown Kemmel, you can definitely see the speed difference between the McLaren and the Porsche there.
Yeah, and it really looked like Torres had a good. It didn't look like he really let off. It looked like he had a good. Wow, look at this battle. Yeah. But it looks like just that McLaren had that extra grunt that the Porsche lacks.
Yeah, Seth, things got a little spicy there. I was thinking that we might have a Porsche doing the loops, but it looks like we're able to keep it between the lines there, which was, anyone who's driven the Porsche knows that, you lose the back end on it, and
you've lost the back end.
It's about a 70% chance that you're going to the hospital. So.
Yeah, it's so true. That's why I admire people who can stay with the Porsche, tame it. And Wojcik, wheel or two off into the dirt there.
Last couple corners, Wojcik getting a little wide makes me wonder if he doesn't have some aero damage, or maybe he's pushing just a little bit too hard, maybe cooking those tires a little.
We'll see if Torres maybe pushes back. He's not letting them escape. He really hadn't widened the gap. And another victim of a little bit late braking. He probably knew Torres was back there, didn't want to brake too early, give him a chance to get by, and it's a little too far back to make a move here. Oh, he does it though. He got it. Car's in. Yeah. He was alongside. Great job, Torres. That was.
Yeah, you can definitely see the extra grip that Porsche has under braking really kind of helped out there.
It did, and he did it. It was no dive bomb at all. He had the inside and into breaking into the apex, and he kept close to the wall. So excellent job.
Now let's hold on to it. The end of the straight here is coming up. Yeah, it looks like he's
advantage
he's held it.
Good job. He did.
Yeah, I'd like to say that this part of Spa has always given me the hard time. Lecum down here into the hairpin and Pouan and all that, but it's really just the whole track. I have a really hard time here. I once famously got 3 track cuts in the first lap of a race, and that was eventful.
You've really got to be trying hard to get 3 in the first lap.
Trust me, I was trying real hard. And looks like we got Wojcik nosing his way up on the inside there.
Yeah.
The bad part about trying to pass on the inside is you're going to be on the outside for the next half of that complex. So Wojciech found himself a little squeezed on the outside there.
I'm sure Torres is feeling no pressure right now, right?
No, none at all.
Yeah.
No, it's just a Sunday drive.
He's just peeking left and right, figuring out which way he can try to make a move. I think I saw him go both.
Yeah. Yeah, that being that close to another driver's bumper, you can definitely see their eye color in your rear view.
So no move into the chicane before the chicane. Looks like he's going to be a little bit too far back to try anything here. If I'm Wojciech, I'm probably going to wait it out till get the camel straight, right? That's where he's so strong.
But it looks like Mike has different plans here. Almost makes the pass coming out of the source. Yeah, and it's not looking good for Torres here. Unfortunately.
Wow. Good enough drive out of that Wojciech wasn't able to pull him in that time.
Wow, that is surprising. Yeah, you can see Wojciech trying to set himself up for the famous switcheroo on some of these corners, trying to run a little wide and cut a little closer to the apex and try to get underneath Torres, but it's not panning out.
No, Torres got looks like maybe a little too close and missed the brake marker there.
A little
But
bit,
again,
little bit.
good recovery. Didn't even lose as much on him as I would have expected for that.
Yeah, you got to wonder though if this is just a case of trying to push too hard, or if Wojciech's actually dealing with some mechanical issues in that McLaren.
Yeah, very good point.
Yeah, running a little wide there. I wonder
there's definitely you can see some damage to the front. It doesn't look like anything excessive, right? But we all know you just get a little bit of. He's heading into the pit, so that might that might just confirm exactly what you were suspecting.
He's following Torres in. Yeah, I'm wondering if it's not maybe an issue with flat spotted tires. I know he got into a little altercation earlier, and I'm wondering if it negatively affected his boots.
Yeah, and even just just a little bit of aero damage can really dramatically change what the car will let you do, right?
Especially on the front. Mm-hmm. You start losing aero, and you're scrubbing your tire, and you get the tires on these cars just even a little bit too hot, and they just kind of give up. Then you start blistering, and then stuff gets worse, and your first instinct is almost always to crank the wheel more, and that just makes things worse on top of it. So let's hope that it's not 30 seconds worth of damage, and it's something that Wojciech can get in and out and hopefully have a decent finish to this race for him.
That's right. He's made up, like you said before, a lot of great pace. We actually have it looks like with them pitting, it's gonna if everyone's starting to pit, it's gonna start shuffling up the order here. Unfortunately, we can't really keep track of who's pitted and who hasn't, but that's the one benefit to doing these live versus the recorded ones.
Yeah, but who's got time for that?
If I wasn't racing, I would love to do it live. Love to.
So, Moda is pitting.
Yep. So David, as always, waiting to pit. No, he's one of the one of the late pitters in the league.
Yeah, I remember season 1. David was almost always one of the guys who tried to make the on one set of tires, and I mean, he did quite often. Watching the last few laps though was exhausting to watch, and I'm sure it was even more exhausting to try to drive the car.
Oh, we have Taylor going into the pits now as well, so another one in.
Yeah, and unlike other
No, when you know what? It looks like Taylor had a let's see if we can get the inside camera. Can we see the speedometer here? Not with this view. I think it looks like he got a speeding in the pit though. So talking about the dreaded drive-through or stop. We'll have to see if it's a stop or go or drive-through.
Yeah, that's almost never a good thing.
No.
But unlike other racing disciplines, GT racing, there's only one tire compound. It's just wet and dry. So there's really no tire strategy other than just trying to look after them better than the people around you, and maybe trying to cut it a little fuel, make you a little lighter. So all the strategies really sort of dictated on the track, and it's not really a team of to see what tire's going to get you to the end of the race. It's all fairly even here.
Yeah, that's a good point. The definitely some cars that seem to take the the tires seem to last a little bit longer. The Aston, right? That's one of the cars that always does really well on tires. And the Porsche, that was always one of Moto's complaints when we used to run the no mandatory tire changes, was the fact that that Porsche would burn up the tires. It was hard to make it last the whole hour.
Oh, and look at that, a switcheroo.
Yeah.
Alvarez coming on the outside and cut into the inside on Cammy there. That was textbook.
It was. And the nice part was, had it in front before he was going uphill, so no worry about side by side Upper Rouge. And yes, it looks like Taylor did get the stop and go 30. I see that showing up on the board there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good. Not at Spa, because it's easily a 30-second or pit lane here.
Oh yeah, easily. It's you get through the one section and you think you're finally through the pits, but no, then you make the right and then it's the second set of stalls. It's just it's an endurance it's an endurance race just going through the pits. Oh, and it looks like Francisco also stop and go 30 as well. So
oh man,
not a fun way to spend your time at Spa, and both of them are going to be doing it.
Fortunately, it's the first race of the season. I mean, some of the newer guys invariably show up and doing public races and all that stuff. You don't really have to pit. You don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. A lot of guys come into this and they're a little shaky on sort of the protocol when it comes to pits. So it usually clears up. A couple of races in, everyone's sort of settled down. So let's hope.
You bring up a good point. If you've never done, if you're history of racing is playing most like non-sim games, and even if you're playing the sim games, you know, a lot of times you're not having to pit for if you set up just like a 30-minute race or 15-minute race or something. So it's just an aspect that a lot of guys have to deal with. But like you said, once you start it, by the few races in, you've got it down.
Yeah, and everyone makes mistakes. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I remember a couple seasons where some pretty seasoned guys were getting stop goes and missing pit entries, and I remember one guy, I don't remember who it was, but decided to play a game of pinball at the pit entry and almost blocked it for everybody. So, you know, I mean, unfortunate for Taylor that he had to, and Escobar, that they have to deal with that 30-second, especially here at Spa. But
That's right. But get it out the way early. Make that mistake race one and be set the rest of the season. And we don't have much in the way of close battles at the moment. It's Doherty on Hicks. About as close as we've got right now.
I'm not sure if Doherty has yet.
Yeah, I don't know as well if these guys did. We're at the 40-minute mark, so everyone had to have pitted by now, or they're going to get a penalty here soon. So the order should straighten up. I think
Okay.
it's showing us at the almost the 40-minute mark.
Well, Doherty has made some pretty impressive inroads here as well from that the incident with Alvarez.
Ooh, and takes the scenic route there.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, sometimes you just gotta.
He's going to hold that inside position. And Doherty was able to clear him before the turn. So no battle.
Yeah. Lakes is one of those places where you really have to. You really got to do a profit loss analysis and decide whether it's worth trying to hold or take a place through there, because it's just such a treacherous part of the track.
Oh, it is. And that's what makes some of the fun for me here. It's just because of that. It's it's not a track that has a lot of dangerous places, but the few dangerous places are very dangerous, right? Like you can practice
Exactly.
it, you can have it down, and you know exactly what to do every time. You've kind of got that muscle memory built. You got the car. You know you're familiar with the car, but it's one of these tracks that can still just bite you.
Yeah, like a petting zoo with like a rattlesnake enclosure.
It's exactly what it is.
Most of the track's just fine, but you get to like Blunt or Rouge and Radion, and it's just the danger is multiplied.
So we've got Alvarez and Caminiti again. Oh, catches that curb and
Caminiti.
not gonna be able to save it.
Oh, that looks like race over for...
Let's see there. I'm going to try to see if we can get a... It looks like he just caught that inside curb and it just completely lifted the car, unsettled it, and...
It's the commentator's curse once again, just talking about how dangerous that corner is.
Oof.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's... that's not a good place to have a problem. And looks like
Damage.
Cammy's just carrying on.
Yeah.
And
Hopefully it's not bad enough where he can try to play mitigate the damage. I'm sure he's done the math in his head of how bad the car feels versus how long it would take to make that pit stop. So
yeah, and
he can
by the
try to.
looks of that corner, that car is not feeling the greatest. That was
No.
a pretty big shunt, so I'm surprised he's on.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think we'll see. Maybe he'll have a change of heart here as he
Yeah.
goes through and does a whole lap with that damage.
After Eau Rouge and Radion right there, it looks like this thing is not turning all that well.
No, and we still got just shy about 18, 17 minutes left in the race, so it's a long time to try to gimp the car around the track. And
Yeah, fighting a car that is just not wanting to cooperate
oh,
is one of the worst feelings.
no kidding. Yeah, it just takes all the fun out of driving.
Yeah. We're lucky this isn't a night race as well, because one of the interesting features of ACs, taking front end damage oftentimes breaks your headlights. So
Or you get that
watching his
wonderful
headlight.
Yeah, or you get that
Yeah.
wonderful light show where you get the
Yeah.
you hit the brakes and you get the flickering lights.
Yeah, I was just watching his lights flashing through that corner, and
The only thing
that's
worse than dealing with that is I always would hate it if I'm behind another driver and my lights are flashing and they think I'm the a-hole flashing my lights at them when it's just my car's damage. I'm not.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, Cammy is not having a good go of this,
No.
so I wouldn't be surprised to see him pull into the pits. And
You know who is having a good go? Aiden Hasbrock here. I don't know. I mean, he's so far in front. We're not even getting a split for him of how, or a delta for how far ahead he is of the next driver. But
yeah, he's looked pretty strong this whole race. I mean, I think things started, and he managed to pull out that 5 or so second lead by the end of the second or third lap. I think I saw where this was going. He's definitely got some pace around here.
he does, and he's had consistency, been making it past the lap cars cleanly. It's the recipe for victory right there. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see Hasbrock this whole season. He had some really great races last season, and it was just a few races I think with some incidents or unlucky things that happened. I think one time he was taken out by a blue flagged car in another race where it's just a combination of incidents. Some maybe self-inflicted, and other ones not. So hopefully we'll see what he can do if he has a clean season.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's between, being fast, being a hot lapper, and actually, getting what it's like to race and working on racecraft and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's not just enough to be fast. It's it helps, but it's not enough.
Speaking of fast guys, Bowen, who is definitely another fast driver here, he's made it up right on Moda.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool to see Alex so far up the grid here. I'm fairly certain he's got some choice words for that very loud, visually and auditorily loud Aston coming up behind him. Yeah, and both those cars just look so planted through there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the one thing I do know about Alex is he's not very easy to shake. He tend to break under the pressure. So let's see what Bowen's got for him here. Looks like Alex is doing a very just planting it right on the apexes and not giving Bowen really any recourse, but to take the wide way around, which is almost always going to end with stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's really one of the most frustrating parts about this track is if you get someone in front of you that's maybe not as quick as you but understands how to defend properly, there's not you here. I mean,
yes.
Other than trying to, Hail Mary, outbreak them, dive bomb them into one of these corners, it is.
Yeah, it's a good point. If you get someone who's extremely defensive, which can be annoying as a driver to be behind someone like that, but it's within the rules. It's driving. It's fair.
And especially when you're this far up the grid, I mean, I would expect anyone, especially this high up, to just defend like their life depends on it.
And I don't know how many strikes Moda has, but that looked like another would have been added to a track cut there. So hopefully he's not up on it. Missed that first apex, so let Bowen close in on him a little bit there.
It's really the one you don't want to miss coming through Lake Holm. You give the guy the inside, he's going to have the outside for the next corner, but he's going to for the run down into the hairpin, and that's really the corner you want to worry about there, because you get pushed wide there and there's not really much you can do. Looking like maybe a little bit of understeer for Bowen going through Puon there. And being in a fight like this, just choose your tires.
Yes.
The guy in the lead can dictate the pace. And that's the thing about fighting like this is it does tend to slow you down, more than a second, maybe sometimes more than 2 seconds a lap. And it's rough being this close to another car. And
the good news is you got Macedo 8 seconds back, so even if they do battle a little bit, they've got some room that Macedo shouldn't be catching them right away. So, and there's that dreaded braking spot before the chicane. It got another victim.
Well, the good news for Alex is that Porsche is a rocket ship coming out of slow speed corners. So.
Digs right out of them. It's a little demon out of those slow turns. Bowen gets it stopped, just barely. It was a fraction of a second later on the brakes. I think he would have been into Moda there. So good job, good car control.
Yeah, that was that was impressive. A good move by Bowen there.
Knowing Moda, he's not gonna just let him get away with it. I'm sure we'll see him attack back here soon. Just not on Camel, not with the Porsche.
No, it's definitely going to be through a lot of these medium speed and slow speed corners that the Porsche is really going to do its thing. A little bit of oversteer coming out of the hairpin there. Yeah, the Porsche just scares me. I mean, I've tried to drive this car, and it's just terrifying.
It does. The worst part is, I mean, it's been a long time since I've driven it, but I just remember it's not even just braking, just letting off the throttle too aggressively, like just
Oh,
it can cause the snap oversteer from that. So it's just or the lift off oversteer. It's a handful, that Porsche. Moda makes it look easier than it is.
oh, that's the thing with people who can drive it. They make it look like it's not just, it's not like it's not doing calculus when in actual fact it and it looks like Alex is falling, but
Yeah, it definitely looks like he has. But, even if he doesn't, maybe at this point in the race, we're down about 8 minutes left, solid third place. Maybe you don't worry about trying to push and fight for second and risk, losing that third place finish. That's good points.
yeah, it's also a really good point. I mean, Macedo almost 7.5, 8 seconds behind. I mean, he has caught a little bit, but not alarming pace. So, wonder if third place is what Alex is aiming for now. This is also a car you don't see very often. The old Mercedes.
You did for a while, but you don't anymore. You're right. When it first, when the Evo version was released, you saw a lot of it. That in the Ferrari, but much less of this now. Did you ever give it a go?
Yeah.
The Mercedes?
The Mercedes is. It's a good. Oh.
It looks like something happened to Smith there. Yeah, just another overshoot. Oh, and then gets the curb coming back on and
Yeah,
got on the throttle
and then just
spun
lost it.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what, that braking zone before the chicane, I don't even know. Is there a good brake marker there? Is that partially what throws people off too? If you're
The thing is, it's different for every car. I mean, there's a general area. I do believe it's between, what is it, the 50 and the 125, or I'm not exactly certain what the numbered boards are down there, but it's the first and second board on the left-hand side on the back section of the track there. Is usually where you want to start braking, but you get to the end, maybe you haven't been so kind to your tires, or
maybe you're
or you got
a little extra speed that time.
Exactly, not paying speed, or you've been messing with your ABS and your bias settings throughout the race, and yeah, it's always to me as to where the perfect spot is at there. Oh,
what did we have?
Looks like we've
Already
got
on Torres. Makes it inside. And
yeah.
on the exit, just gives him a little love tap, which
Doherty let off the gas a little bit there to make sure there was enough room for Torres on the outside if he wanted to take it, and Torres just was a little too close. Decided to follow him through instead of go wide.
Good thing is I don't think he hit the wall there. So he lost a few positions, but is not out.
Yeah, and really sort of the danger of Blanchimont is it's such an awkward place to sort of for their
Oh,
change. Oh,
and we've got uh Doherty. Did something happen, or was this self-inflicted?
looks like just lost it uh, coming up Eau Rouge. I wonder if maybe he got on the curb on the inside. That little
And
right-hander there.
you
Yep,
called
that's
it.
exactly what it is.
Yep. And no wall, so that's good. But
Also, no tires, so that's bad.
gonna have a little bit of them flat spots, I'm sure. Well,
Yeah,
that.
it's gonna be like driving on.
So this is a close battle here, though, for fifth, sixth, seventh. Got Hicks. It hasn't showed Doherty back. There we go. Fifth, sixth, seventh now are showing properly. But Alvarez made his way up.
Yeah, up into 6th. Good job. That's quite the.
It is.
And it looks like we actually lost Wojcik at some point. So he must have.
Did.
Yeah, he must have. He must have had either another incident or just decided that it just was not worth carrying on.
Yeah,
at Spa, actually. What was it? Season 1, first race. I don't think I even finished it.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened. Totally missed that, but you're right. And I think I remember hearing Wojciech had some might have other races this season he was gonna miss too because of conflicts.
And that's actually something that we've tried to sort of make sure the drivers in this league know is we don't really have any penalty for missing races. You know, we understand that life happens and all that stuff. So it's something that we do allow. So that's, you don't have to worry about getting, disqualified or any of that kind of stuff.
Exactly. We all understand that there is life. You're not going to get the points that week, but you're definitely not going to get kicked out of the league either. Maybe why don't we do? You want to give us a little walkthrough of Spa here? If we're on board with Alvarez and we just started a lap.
Sure. Yeah. So Camel is fairly easy. Just make sure you got the loud pedal all the way to the ground. This gets kind of tricky. Hicks is going a little defensive, so you brake about the start of the curbing there, hard into it, second or third usually. Try to cut the curb on the inside a little bit there. A little lift, come through here. This braking zone gets a little bit more complicated, usually right at the start of the curbing there. When a car is in front of you, it's a little bit hard to see. A little bit of a tap of the brakes here to get it to rotate around the corner. Now the end of this here, you're usually down a couple gears. And Puan it's a weird corner. You feel like you can take more speed into it than you can. You usually end up understeering wide. So down into third or second through here. Try not to touch your brakes if you can avoid it. Just let her drift out wide. Down a couple gears here. And through here, you don't want to turn in too early. If you turn in too early, you can clip that curb
or go wide like that.
Yeah, you can clip the curb and it can sort of force you to rotate a little bit more than you want, or you end up going wide. And Blanchemont's usually pretty easy flat. You just kind of got to commit early enough. And then here into the bus stop, like I said, there's 150, 125 boards on the left, and you want to try to get it in the middle, down into second or first, depends. And then there you go, down into La Source. Usually brake about the 100, and you can either cut this early or late. I prefer late. You get a better acceleration down the straight. But yeah, that's about it.
Since we missed a Rouge last time, You wanna?
Oh, this is terrible. This is just anxiety. Just cut the left as much as you can. Try not to touch the curb on the right. Just sort of hold on for dear life, and
if you mess up, where you know you're gonna, like what Alvarez did there, where you didn't get the car enough right to the first part. Generally, if you know you're gonna go off track to the left, let off the throttle. Don't keep it pinned, and you won't. It'll usually prevent you from having the track cut penalty or the off track penalty.
yeah, I mean, you'll still get penalized, but it'll definitely tell you that you didn't gain any time, so
Yep.
it won't be like an actual penalty, but it still will be.
You just self-penalize
I mean,
yourself before the game does.
Exactly.
Basically, let off the throttle, take the self penalty, especially here.
Yeah, and so ever since the 1.8
we've
physics
got
update,
fireworks. We missed it, but my mistake there. But yeah, here we go. We've got Hasselbrock coming through with the win. Excellent job.
Yeah, a little flash of the lights there. That's I mean, that was earned. That was a fairly dominating performance by Hasselbrock.
That absolutely was. And Bowen's going to be working his way. Looks like he's got enough gap in front of Moto to safely secure second here.
Yeah, I wonder if Macedo caught up with Moto, or if they're still about 6 seconds behind. So yeah, looks like Moto just decided that third was the best option, which frankly is a very smart decision.
Oh,
so.
Agree. And nicely done by Bowen in a whole new car this season. So looks to be just as deadly in the Aston as he is in the NSX. So motocrosses, and there goes Macedo as well. Next we've got Alvarez working his way, which again, like you said earlier, just awesome recovery, getting all the way back up into 5th place.
Yeah, that's fairly impressive. I remember when Eric first joined, he was struggling to get his head around that Honda, and it's good to see that he
has. And great job from Hicks too. 6th place from Hicks. Torres 7th. Strong finish for his first time racing with CSRL. 7th is excellent. Daugherty recouped as well up to 8th.
Yeah, Torres had his windshield wipers on there. I don't know.
Everyone celebrates different ways. That's like waving the hands in the air. That's what that is.
Exactly.
The burnout.
Yeah,
that's so old. Well, yeah, that's
like I was saying.
Replay. So.
Well, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you there, Mike.
Oh no, you're good. It was.
Like I was saying though, after the physics update they've done, even cutting Oruge and Radion short on the left, coming up the hill, there's quite a few bumps there, and even that can end in disaster if you're not on it. So it's just that area is just terrifying no matter what. Keeping
with Nate, we'll do the onboard ride through the start of the race. We'll pick Taylor here. I want to give Taylor some attention. So again, like Nate always said, clean way to start the race is what makes it a great race, and that was a very clean start here. We had the accident on Camel Straight, but the race start through Rouge was great. Not even the
and that's something you don't see very often.
Yeah. All right, well, that is it for Season 5, Race 1 in the books. We'll be back Saturday at 9:30 Eastern will be the race time for race number 2, which is going to be Silverstone this week.
Yeah, and if you're not registered for the season and watching these races as something you do on a regular basis, and you think you'd maybe want to join in, we have open enrollment all championship. It's not closed, so you can join anytime you want. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can get all the notifications of all of our races. And yeah, Mike, I think it was a pretty good race. I mean, my first doing I don't know what you'd call it, color commentary. I don't think it was that bad. But,
I enjoyed having you. This is new to me too. We jumping in.
If anybody has any complaints, just make sure to contact Mike Doherty.
Shove it at
complain to him. Yeah, complain to him, not me.
No, I think you did a great job. It was thanks for joining me. It was awesome having a person to do this with. So
Yeah,
appreciate
no
it. Hopefully, maybe we'll do this together another time.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Thank you, everybody.